this crypto realm. Charts like constellations, I'm mapping the stars. Wallets full of dreams, I'm stacking the bars. Digits dance, decimals do the samba. Market's a jungle, I'm Tarzan in the drama. Blockchain spinning, a digital parade. I'm the tour guide through the mess we wade. Huddle or fold, the question burns. In this game of risk, the tables turn. Good morning, crypto, I light up the haze. Guiding the lost through these crypto waves. From FOMO to fortune, I'm paving the ways. BC Port Corp, your lighthouse ablaze. Bull stampede, bears in hibernation. I'm the translator for the strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake. But I'm the steady hand when the markets shake. I'm the translator for the strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake. But I'm the steady hand when the markets shake. Ablaze.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge of financial freedom. Today, I've got one headline. It's about crypto ETFs and when those might lead to our next altcoin rally. But before we get into all of that, let's take a look at that stock heat map. You know, I got it pulled up in the background, so let's dive on in, get you prepped for some success today. We're seeing a little bit of a mixed bag this morning. We've got Apple sitting to the downside, just some light selling pressure though, down 0.06. We've got Nvidia down up 0.31 this morning. Berkshire Hathaway sitting to the downside, down 0.01. Amazon down 0.14. We've got Eli Lilly sitting down 0.1% this morning after a very red day yesterday, down 2.3%. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.41%, looking to the downside this morning, 0.38. We've got Tesla sitting to the downside, 0.39% this morning. P&G also looking a little bit red off of its close, 1.59%. Seeing a little upside this morning, 0.31% towards the upside. Microsoft sitting to the upside this morning, 0.07%. Google up 1.18 off of its close, and seeing a little bit of some sell pressure this morning, down 0.12. We've got Meta to wrap that on out, sitting to the downside off of its close, and this morning down 0.14. Let's see what we're looking like on the crypto side of things. Looking pretty red over there as well. Got some very big red bubbles here directly after everyone was saying, oh, look, altcoin season, and then nice big giant pullbacks. We'll take a look at that altcoin season metric here in just a second as well. We do have Bitcoin sitting down 1.3%, Ethereum down 3.9%. We've got XRP sitting down 1.4%. BC, is that pillow mark still on your cheek? Asking for a friend. Yeah, I slept in this morning. I needed it. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night, and they were all at the end of the night, so I had to play a little bit of catch up. I was in bed at like 6:30 last night, so it was extremely needed. I got home from work a little bit later than normal, so I didn't do my show yesterday with CCM and Bedell. I did listen to them. They did a great job, but yeah, I could not do it. So caught up on some sleep. Still might need to do a little more catching up, but that's for another day. We've got BNB down 1.8%. Solana sitting down 5.5% right now. Tron sitting down 1.7%. Doge down 4.6%. We've got Cardano down 3.4%. Chainlink sitting down 7.6% right now. Still waiting for that $300 target that was talked about. We'll see. That wasn't here on Piper Academy, but if you know, you know. We've got Hyperliquid down 1.2%. Stellar Lumens down 1.2% as well. We've got Sui sitting down 2.4%. We got Bitcoin Cash sitting down 4.8%. HBAR looking pretty nice right now with 0% change on that daily, and starting to see some nice green on that hourly, taking some positions in that market cap as well. We've got Avalanche sitting down 3.7%, Leo token up 0.8%, and Litecoin sitting down 1.9%. For the fear and greed meters today, we've got that stock side looking at 59 and some light greed. Hopping over to the crypto side of things, looking extremely neutral. Down, up a point, but down from last week, sitting at that 48 and neutral when we were at 59 and neutral. We do have a little bit more that we could kind of slide to the downside, so we'll take a look at those price points here on that liquidation heat map. Zooming on out on this 24 hour, we've got barely any liquidity to either direction. Zooming on out to that 3-day, that's when you start to see some liquidity. That's going to be right back up here at that 115,800 area. Zooming on out a little bit further, taking a look at the 2-week, you can see some more liquidity on that heat map as well. Getting all the way back up to those highs at 120,000. That's where we see that extreme hot spot here. It does range all the way up to $120,000 and all the way down to about 118,200. So a very hot wide zone directly above all of our price action. A nice little area to get back up to if we can turn some key levels back into some support. We'll get over to those in just a second though. But I did see this altcoin metric. Look at that, sitting at 45. Last week, 46. So not very close to an alt season. We'll dive a little further into that here in a little bit. But let's get over to that economic calendar. Say good morning to the chat. We did have a little bit of some data coming out today. Let me get that switched over to the right week. Here we go. Today, we get some ISM manufacturing. Oh, that'll be from Canada, the manufacturing sales month over month. For America, we're getting durable goods orders month over month and year over year. That will be a big one to keep your eye on. Looking like still in the negative, but a little bit of an increase from the prior negative 9.3%. So still not overwhelmingly positive data. We'll just have to keep our eye on that. Scrolling on down just a little bit further here, we get to S&P Schiller home price month over month and year over year. I don't think we see anything too crazy about that. Housing market slowly getting hotter as it has more homes on the market. It takes longer to sell those homes, and those houses are selling for just a little bit less than asking price. So not looking for a giant switch up there. Scrolling on down, we do have a few Fed chairs speaking today. One in the morning at 8:30. Scrolling on down, we get another one here this afternoon. I believe that was coming out of the Bank of Canada. That's that next speech for the afternoon. Going to be at 2:45. So definitely going to be watching both of those. Taking a look at this Bitcoin chart, we'll zoom it on out to that daily and say good morning to the chat. Let's see, we got JR in here saying make it a mocha, just being silly. Well, get that caffeine. You might need it today, JR. It might be a little bit volatile, and you might need to be on top of it with some energy from some caffeine, because I do expect a little bit of some volatility. You've been seeing even those rate cut chances on CME Fed Watch tool. People have been, extremely hopeful that we're going to be getting those rate cuts because, Jerome Powell did talk about the potential for changing the direction and the stance of the Fed, but we still have crappy data. So I think people are like, okay, well, he did talk about potentially changing the policy stance of the Fed, but they're still data dependent, and inflation has not been getting better, and the producer side has not been getting better, and we just had the worst PPI data that we've seen in forever. Yes, the jobs market is still at that point where we could cut, but this hopium doesn't always lead you in the right direction. So people aren't exactly pricing in a rate cut just yet. So if we do get a rate cut, big move towards the upside. Let's see, Crypto Billion saying, I must have slept in. Most definitely did. Sleep is always important. I don't get as much as I need to, but I'm glad I got some tonight. Last night, we got Donato Cabrera in here. Good morning to you. Crypto Billy saying good morning to everyone else. We've got Jay Violet in here saying evening from Aussie land. Well, good evening to you, madam. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Jay Dumb. Good morning to you. Curtis Hill. Good morning. Let's see who else we got. BC, is that Pelomar? Oh, yeah, read that one. Let's see. Scrolling on down. BC with the morning voice. Yep. Not putting any extra effort on the voice. The voice is what it is this morning. I'm too tired for all that extra stuff. But let's see what we got on this Bitcoin chart. We had talked about some levels last week, some levels to the downside, because I did see some potential for some downside action. We came in, closed our fair value gap, so let's color that in black so that we know it is filled now. Completely filled after yesterday's price movement to the downside. Found a little bit of a floor directly below that at 108,800. We do have a little lower that we could go, testing on some of this old range here. Probably would have been that value area high there, going to be 108,200, and that's going to be that area to really find as some support if we fall back out of this fair value gap here. Daily still does have a little more that it could come down, with your MACD pointing to the downside, starting to get just a tiny bit of some sideways momentum there, but nothing too crazy. Our money flow still in the red, volume a little bit down, and prime oscillator continuing with its rollover here. Your true 7 has clipped out. You did see a bit of a bottoming signal over here. That would have been back here when we saw these lows, but then we continued. So kind of waiting for some more bottoming indicators here. This could be it. If we can get back above the top side of that fair value gap, coming in at 110,600, really turn this back into some support, would need to get back above those old all-time highs at $112,000 though. That's that big thick line that I have marked out. We'll kind of have to see if we can get back above that. This is our lower zone, and we're in the middle of it right now with that fair value gap here. We are trying to pull back above that golden pocket fib extension as well. So that's directly where price action is above us on this daily, and we'll kind of have to see on that shorter term time frame if we can get that nice pull above and hold with some support. MACD starting to get some curvature here on this 4 hour. We do have a reversal signal that has flashed, but prime oscillator still sitting in that light red, as money flow is still in the red here on the 4 hour as well. Would really need to get above the top side of that fair value gap. You can see it coming in as a little bit of some resistance here on that 4 hour. So looking for a little bit of some sideways momentum in the shorter time frames to really get that nice little cool down, continued cool down of these higher term time frame oscillators, and allow for some money flow to come in with some strength. Let's take a look here at this 1 hour. 1 hour looking a little bit toppy. You do have that prime oscillator getting some sideways momentum here, but look at that crazy red money flow. So nice crazy red money flow, getting a little bit more roll over here as well. Prime oscillator running a little sideways, volume holding quite nice and steady here in this price area. So we'll kind of have to see if we get some more resistance up at the top side of that 110,600, and then see if we can really hold that golden pocket there. So let's zoom that on in, take a look at a 15-minute and see what the morning might be bringing our way here. Nice little higher lows, nice sweep of liquidity there. So higher lows, sweep of liquidity to the downside, sweep of liquidity to the upside. Really waiting to see if we can just hold and maintain this range. We are holding that midline of our fair value gap extremely nicely right now, as that prime oscillator really tries to stay nice and cooled off here on the 15-minute to allow for some of this money flow to start coming back in. Prime oscillator also getting some of that same action here, trying to stay nice and consolidated while we wait to get back above that 110,600 this morning. If we were unable to really get above that, moving sideways here in our fair value gap, allowing for people to really test some of these price points, would be something to kind of watch for. The weekly bear div, says JR. We can take a look at that weekly chart real quick. We got several bear divs here. Taking a look at that MACD, we've got wrong button there. Taking a look at the MACD, we got a bearish divergence there. We do have this massive bearish divergence here as well, and you can kind of see we were making those higher highs here, higher highs, making lower highs, lower highs. So definitely do have this weekly bear div, and if we were unable to maintain that 108,300, that was that level we had just talked about, we do have the 50% on our fib extensions coming in at 103,500. So that's that next level. If we can't maintain this little zone right here, this is that next zone to really watch for. So just keep your eyes out we could go lower with how the weekly chart is looking, but we'll kind of have to see if we can maintain at least some of the sideways action we've been seeing on the shorter term time frame. Let's hop over to that news article real quick. Altseason won't start until more crypto ETFs launch, Bitfinex says. So scroll on down, altcoins may not see a broad, outsized rally until the approval of crypto ETFs that give investors exposure further down the risk curve, according to the analyst from Bitfinex. Crypto market participants have eagerly awaited an altcoin market rally, or Altseason, as Bitcoin dominance dipped 6% over the past 30 days. Bitfinex analysts said in a markets report on Monday that they don't anticipate a rising tide lifts all boats environment until later in the year, when inflows into Bitcoin products regain momentum and new investment vehicles for altcoins are introduced. They added these products are likely to generate sustained price agnostic demand, creating the conditions for broader re-rating across the digital asset complex. Current crypto markets have a muted trajectory. The analyst said that the current market is showing a softer appetite for the risk at this stage of the cycle. While capital inflows remain positive, the muted trajectory reflects a more cautious investor base, contrasting with the aggressive demand for the characterized previous all-time high surges, they added. Coinbase institutional global head David Duong had a different take, as he recently said the current market conditions now suggest a potential shift to a full-scale alt season as we approach September. You know, there's been a lot of talk about how September is normally one of the redder months in crypto, typically about 4% to the downside, so we'll kind of have to keep our eyes on this. I'm more along the lines of the ETFs are really what's going to allow more capital to come into your alt market, as we've been watching this entire season, this entire crypto bull run. You've seen the rotation of capital be into your stable coins instead of to your altcoins. You have a whole lot of altcoins to really pick from, and that kind of hampers the ability for these alts to really get that massive run towards the upside. You have seen your good projects, good established projects like XRP, ADA, Solana, really getting those massive push towards the upside. You know, those are those big projects that have a lot of utility on them, that have a lot of use case with them. Those are the projects you really see actually get nice sustained rallies. Yeah, you see your meme coins get that, oh look, it's 146% towards the upside, but you don't see it maintain those gains. Whereas in something like XRP has got a sustained rally, holds key areas back at the top, looks a whole lot better than most of your other altcoin market. Link kind of been a little muted this cycle. You've seen a lot of these other altcoins as well kind of just fall to the side as Bitcoin really regains a lot of its market dominance. Let me get a chart pulled up here to really show and compare you that altcoin market to your crypto dominance of Bitcoin. So let me get that pulled up real quick in the background. But definitely been watching this. You see the rotation of capital being extremely different than it's ever really been before. So let's get that market cap for Bitcoin. Is that the right one? There we go. We've got others as well to kind of compare that to. That's going to be your others market outside of your top 10. And that one hasn't been looking as well as everything else has. So let me get that shared with you there. Okay. So Bitcoin, and let's get that total with Bitcoin Bitcoin market cap. So, oh, on crypto. There we go. Bitcoin market cap. Nope. Let's see. There it is. Okay, here we go. So let's get this to that higher term time frame here. Take a look at it on that weekly. We'll take a look at this on the weekly as well. That way it looks a little bit easier to compare. Zooming on out here, last time Bitcoin really had some nice strong dominance to compare this with. You have Bitcoin way up here at those 76% range. This is when your total crypto market cap is at its very bottom here. So comparing that to right here, that's where you really see that bottoming price point as Bitcoin's dominance as is at its complete highest. This is more just like a nice little sideways consolidation for your altcoin market though. As we've approached this time here, you're seeing a nice running up against your all-time highs on your total market cap. This is excluding that top 10, so your nice established projects. This is the rest of your altcoin market. Look how much it has struggled in comparison to last time. So you have Bitcoin dominance really starting to falter over here. Get that nice drop down in Bitcoin dominance. Your altcoins never got this rally this time. So definitely looking a lot different than any other market we've ever seen before. Rotation of capital continues to be into your stable coins. This is that 1 week here on your stable coins. This doesn't have as long of a history to really look at, but when you compare this, we'd have to zoom this in a little bit further. When that Bitcoin dominance falls, you've got that nice little comparison here. So this is the peak of your Bitcoin. Bitcoin falters just a little bit, but stable coins, you see that little bit of a sell-off, comes with a little bit of an alt rally, and then that rotation of capital directly back into your stable coin market. So rotation of capital has been extremely different, and we're waiting for new money to come in. And new money, which we normally call retail, doesn't look like it's coming in through your crypto markets like Coinbase and through crypto.com or Kraken. It looks like they've mostly been coming in through ETFs, which is why you've seen Bitcoin do extremely well and Ethereum do extremely well. This past month, a lot of inflows came in from those ETFs. So it is something to kind of keep your eye on. Some more crypto ETFs will really help that altcoin market get some moves towards the upside, especially your established projects like Solana and XRP. Maybe get an ADA ETF. I know that's there's some applications for that as well. So definitely going to be keeping my eye on that. We got an alt request for me to end the show with, because I'll do TA on one asset. Go ahead, throw me one asset. First asset requested is going to get some TA done on it. Let's see. It seems like a great place to retire. Oklahoma is almost the cheapest place to live these days. A ton of inflow last 5 years. Hey, that's where I'm from. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So there's definitely worse places to retire. It gets very mild winters, so that's kind of nice there. Let's see, V. Nothing too crazy for those winters. You get a little bit of ice, but not a crazy amount of snow. Summers are not humid. Definitely very, very cheap place to live. So your money goes a little bit further there. I live in South Carolina, mountains north of me, ocean and beach to the south. Love it here. Moved in 2011. Hey, kind of sounds like that move that got everyone to California. It's like, oh, look, there's the beach. an hour to the west. There's the beach an hour to the west. There's the mountains an hour to the east, and that was a big draw for California until their politics absolutely destroyed their economy. So you've got a little bit of a better economy there, Crypto Billy. Let's see. We had VVV requested, so let's get this on the daily. We did have an area we wanted to see hold. That's where we got some of that bouncing action here on the shorter term time frame. Here on this daily, you can see that nice little hold up from $3.27. Got that push back almost to the 382 there, and then really lost that 50 with some strength. And now we're looking back down towards the platinum pocket here. We do have an area that we would like to see at least maintained. That's coming in at $2.31. If we lose that platinum pocket, that's that area we really want VVV to hold there. Let's get that a little bit thicker there. All right, that's going to be that heavy support area. We want to see VVV hold here, especially if we dip below that platinum pocket. I would like to see that platinum pocket maintain that support area. $2.58 being that platinum pocket on VVV. MACD getting a little bit of some sideways momentum there on this daily. Prime oscillator still pointing to the downside. Money flow holding up quite nicely here on the daily. So just waiting to see if we can maintain that platinum pocket on the higher term time frame. 1 hour looking like it's a little bit toppy there. Continuing to see that little bit of a rollover there on price action. MACD getting some nice curvature. Prime oscillator getting some nice curvature as well, as that money flow here on the hourly stays heavily in the red. We did have some lows here, made lower lows, did get that nice little breathing room up at the golden pocket. Try to maintain that there. Once we were unable to maintain that golden pocket, you just saw money flow coming out like crazy. So really waiting to see this platinum pocket area hold up, maybe get a bounce back up to the lows there. That'd be $2.77 for a short-term time frame bouncing area off of that. Let's get that as a horizontal ray there you go. $2.75 would be that area to really pull back up to, and would want to see it held as some support on your higher term time frame. Something like a 4-hour candle close above that before we really get that push back towards the upside there. So that's what I got for VVV. It is 5:29 and time to wind the show on down. We got Jesse Gluck sliding in at the very end. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Hopefully we didn't crush people's hopes of an altcoin season. We have been seeing alts rally, not all together. It hasn't been the lifting of all tides. We haven't seen them sustain their real big pushes towards the upside. We will be keeping our eyes on the alts, because I know we got a lot of people invested in the alts. They buy the alts, they trade the alts, but all I have to say is be safe with these altcoins, because the rotation of capital has been extremely different. Find those real alts that are running, that sustain those runs as well, and I have no doubt that you will do well this season. But make sure to tune into the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy. We get that morning market report at 10 a.m., trading with OC at 8 p.m. If you need the breakdown of the data, that morning market report is the place to be. If you like to be a little bit of a degen, you like to improve your trading skills, trading with OC at 8 p.m. is a great place to do that. Until next time, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.